Hey everybody, Matter77 here from Airsoft Review Central, bringing you another Airsoft review. Today I'll be reviewing the Walther PPQ, licensed by Umarex, manufactured by VFC. Alright, so in the box, as you can see, you have the sidearm right here with a small little box area right here. In this box is the magazine, which you can see. There's the mag, and here's your gun. Underneath, you will find 3 papers. The first being an Umarex USA registration paper, and then there it is. And then a paper basically saying don't return it to a store, return it to them because it does have a warranty. And then your manual. It's a nice manual. I believe it's all in English when I was glancing at it. It's in English, French, and Spanish. So it does accommodate a wide variety of cultures there and languages. Alright, so there's your box. It's not too flashy, but it's a simple light box. And it just looks nice and simple. Overhead view of the gun. I'm just going to go through a little rundown of what the features are of this pistol and what it really has to offer. So this side of the slide is basically plain with the exception of a Walther logo right here, as well as engraved right here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the camera to focus in this lighting, but it does say, it says 9mm by 19. So I'm assuming, I don't know that much about real steel firearms, but I do know that the caliber is 9mm, and I'm assuming it's 19 bullets per magazine. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the tactical version with a larger magazine, so I believe that is correct. Now, the slide is metal. It's heavy, but you can definitely feel the spring. As you can see, it gets stuck there. It does have some really good compression. That was something I was very impressed with initially, which is nice. But you can definitely feel the spring in there. If you've ever had a KWA KP45, it's almost identical to that. Shooting the gun feels the exact same way, especially when you rack the slide, all of it. Now the frame is polymer. Since this is the limited edition tan one, or I think it is at least, it is a nice gripped texture right here, and the frame is just all around just a nice polymer. It does accommodate, as you can see, my gloves right here are fingerless, but the trigger space or the trigger guard is large enough to accommodate gloves that have the finger pieces on them. On the bottom, it does have the plastic rail that's integrated as part of the frame, and you can mount tactical lights and lasers, which is what I've done. Now, moving to the other side of the gun, we have, this is the interesting part of the slide in my opinion. It says PPQ right here, and then it says Walther right there. They're both engraved, so it's not painted on or anything. The slide is actually very nice. And it looks really cool with all these trademarks, since Umarex is able to do all this. Now, something I didn't mention on the other side that you might see now is this slide release. So the slide release is on the right side, as well as the left side. So it's really nice for ambidextrous players. Unfortunately, the mag release is only available on the left side of the gun, and I actually don't like the magazine. That's one of my qualms right now, or not the magazine, but the magazine release, is that it's very hard to press, and it doesn't bulge out like Glock ones do. I like that better than this, and I also like the style of H&Ks where you press down right here to release it. So that's one thing I don't like. It kind of depends, but since I'm a left-handed person, it makes it really hard for me. But it's something that I can live with. At least it's not a game-breaking thing. Now, next, I'd like to talk about some of the internals. So it does have metal internals for the most part. You know, all your standard plastic pieces are plastic, of course. What I did like is that this barrel is threaded. So I believe the barrel is metal. That's at least what it feels like. And that's very nice, because that means that this threaded extension here is metal. And unlike my 1911, I'm not too worried about, you know, a suppressor hitting a tree and snapping the end of the barrel off. It's not like that, so this is cool. Now, something you have to be careful, and you may have just seen me do it, is if you kind of are weak on releasing the slide, you might see it get stuck like this, and you don't want to push it forward like I did. You might crack the nozzle, so what you want to do is just release. It should close like that very well. Now, you are able to power stroke it, like so, which makes it, you know, all the more better. I like guns that you're able to do that with. There is on the bottom here another PPQ trade, and on this side too, and your lanyard loop is right in there. Gonna feed it through, and then on the bottom, you see this little hole right here. You can feed your lanyard through. To disassemble, you see these little rivets here, and on this side too. It's basically takedown is just like a Glock. Pull them down, push or pull back. Whoops, pull back, pull down. Slides off just like that. You can see all your internals. You have your nozzle right here, your carrier over here, and then your spring guide, all of that good stuff. To put it back on, you just want to line up the grooves. Whoops. And then you're going to want to pull down again on these both sides. Slide it on. There you go. Very simple to do. Alright, we're going to put this aside and talk about the magazine real quick. So this magazine, I believe what the manual said is it holds 22 rounds. Good number in my opinion. It is double stack. Right now I actually have some awesome first impressions on the magazine. It has the numbers right here, as well as this is really cool, but the fill valve is super sturdy, and it's really easy to fill. Like if you're using, I use a propane adapter, but I can't like wiggle it around. It's like just fits perfectly in there. I also like the gasket up here. It's very low profile, hardly sticks out, and it's thin, but it's long. So it makes some great contact with the piece inside the gun. As you can see, the cutouts for the magazine catch are very deep, so I wouldn't really worry about it wearing down, not working after a while. And this release valve right here is very nice from what I've noticed. Now, as you have probably figured out, it is green gas, of course, like I've already said. Right here is basically how you take the base plate off, and this is the bottom of your follower. Now, I did buy this gun secondhand, so the previous owner ended up breaking the base plate. As you can see, the crack right there. So I advise not to do that. So what you want to do is, just going to pretend it's on right now, okay? So taking it off, what he did was he slammed the back to get it off, and that's how you break it. So what you're going to do is, there's a little cut right there. Going to pull down with your finger, and it slides off. Super easy. Put it back on, just pull down again. Slide it on. There you go, and it shouldn't break. Like I said, previous owner hit it, but in my opinion, I don't like this. I think the coloration on this is different than the color of this, so it looks kind of funky, and there's too much space underneath. So I actually do prefer, and this might be weird to some people, but for this gun, and probably the only gun ever, I prefer it without the base plate. Or if you can find a low profile one, that'd be better. This is just how I like it right now. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to a chrono video. Hope you enjoy. Alright, so now I'm just going to put down, range a couple of .220 gram BBs, and you can just take a look and see the FPS of them. This is with my X-Cortec X3500. It's supposedly one of the most accurate chronographs on the market, so hopefully all the readings are correct. Alright, so there you have it. So as you can see, it says 316 is the average, 316 FPS, followed by 308.2, 319, 323, a 0, and then a 313. So nice average of 316, perfect for indoor, and it'll even work for outdoor. And this is with green gas and 0.20 gram BBs. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the shooting test. Alright, so now that we've seen this gun in action, I'm going to go ahead and give it my final ratings. So, for performance, I know I didn't display it in the shooting test because I wasn't really shooting at anything in particular, but I was watching where the BBs were flying, and I can tell you they were shooting like lasers. If there's ever been a pistol that's more accurate than any other, the most accurate one that I've ever owned, it's got to be this one. Aside from maybe a Tokyo Marui that I've had, this has to be the most accurate pistol I've ever owned. And honestly, the range is maybe caps out at around 80 feet, but this thing is a laser all the way to the end. So it's very nice performance. As you may have seen in the video of me shooting it, the kick is crisp and it's fast. This is one of the fastest kicks I've ever experienced from a non-race gun. So it's very appealing, and it's very nice to shoot. Okay, now, so I'm gonna go ahead and just give that section a 5 out of 5, basically because I have no qualms with anything related to the performance of this gun. Just make sure that you lubricate it. The magazines are nice, so and they hold a lot of BBs, feeds well, and everything. Now, design. Alright, so this one is this is good for the gun, I guess. But I think that the externals are very well built. The slide looks beautiful. All the trademarks, the frame is gorgeous as well. What I don't like is the trigger is plastic. That's something that I don't really like. And if it's not plastic, then they do a really bad job. No, it is plastic. Yeah. So looking at it, I can tell it's plastic. It feels plastic, so that's kind of makes me nervous because I have had Glock triggers break in the past, and I know they're known for that. But you know, the design is great. The threaded barrel's cool. The internals are well built. I know that there's this problem of it. You know, there's such good compression that it kind of gets stuck if you do it too slow. So as long as you just do it nice and quickly, it'll go well. And I didn't mention this, but there are the dot sights as well, which is a cool design. I love dot sights. Anything that has to do with quick target acquisition, I love. Now, the one flaw in this gun's design would have to be the base plate. And honestly, it's not really the gun's fault. It was just the user's fault, so I'm just going to neglect that because they actually designed it pretty well. So it's not too bad. And everything in this category is pretty good for the gun. I think they built it very well. Slide takedown is very easy, and maintenance is not bad either. So I'm going to go ahead and give this gun a 5 out of 5 in the design category as well. Now the third one, price to value ratio. So you can find this gun anywhere from $100 to $110 on most airsoft websites. You can probably get it used like I did. I bought mine for only $60. So for me, it was definitely a good price to value ratio. And I even feel that for $100, you know, this beats any WeTech that I've ever owned by far. Destroys the KWAs. I have had zero luck with KWA pistols in the past. I'd say it's on par with KJW, and I'm not really going to compare a Tokyo Marui to this. I don't think that'd be fair. But yeah, this definitely blows WeTech and KWA out of the water. So it's nice. Like I said, it's OEM'd by VFC. And, you know, what more can you expect? It's just a great gun. They're known for making very high quality pistols and adding a lot of features as well. And especially, like, for $100, you're getting a pretty nice pistol, and it's licensed. And something that I'd like to point out now is that the magazine is licensed as well. if that's of any importance to anyone. It does say Walther caliber 9mm. Alright, so I'm going to definitely give this a 5 out of 5. Easy peasy, it definitely earns it here. Now, aftermarket support. This is where the gun kind of takes a hit. Being a VFC and being a relatively new product, it came out at the end of 2015, the fourth quarter, I believe, of 2015. So there really isn't much out there right now. Honestly, just the PPQ isn't a platform that a lot of people build on, and Walther guns aren't too popular in the airsoft community. So this is kind of sad, but I'm going to just go ahead and have to give it like a 2 out of 5. I have hardly seen any upgrades for this gun. Now, if it is compatible with, I heard that it's compatible with another platform out there. I'm not sure what kind of platform it is, but I heard that some of the parts are the same. And I'm sure like recoil springs, you can find those pretty easily. So a 2 out of 5 might be a bit harsh, but the fact that there's no real dedicated manufacturers who make parts for this gun solely, it just takes a hit here. So I'm going to have to give it a 2 out of 5. Hey everybody, thanks a lot for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment down in the description below saying how much you loved it. And you know what, if you really want to, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's pretty tempting. You know, the big red button is really fun to hit. So if you did like the video, go ahead and hit it, leave a like, and thanks a lot for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.